Catholic television in Africa.
PACIS TV, ta vie renouvelée en Jésus-Christ.
PACIS TV, the #1 Catholic television in Africa.
Hello and welcome back to PACIS TV. This is the time for the weekly English news. I am Benjamin Kwizera and these are the headlines. In Cyangugu, youth must learn from history and make sure that what happened during the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi never happen again, whether in Rwanda or elsewhere in the world. Youth are encouraged to avoid drug abuse in order to avoid school dropouts and other consequences related to drug abuse. Students and teachers shared their joy during the closing of Catholic Education Week. In international news, Ebola strain has torn through local communities in eastern of Democratic Republic of Congo. Welcome to our news in detail. In Cyangugu, youth are encouraged to learn from history and make sure that what happened during the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi never happen again, whether in Rwanda or elsewhere in the world. News in detail. Among the priests remembered by the Catholic Diocese of Cyangugu is Father Boneza Joseph, who was serving at Mibirizi Parish. He was killed at a place called Kuchapa while trying to join others in Cyangugu, where they had gathered at the bishop's residence. Also remembered was Father Mbugushe Alphonse from the Diocese of Kabgayi, who had come to visit Father Boneza and his sister, who was a nun. Paul Ndiziwe, one of his relatives, spoke about the information they had recently learned concerning him. It was during this 32nd commemoration that Father Mbugushe was finally honored at the place where his body rests, now laid to rest at Kamembe Memorial Site.
They pretended that they let him free, but they wanted him to be killed. They called Bishop that they sent him to Gitarama, but honestly, they knew that he couldn't reach Gitarama because there was no way at that moment. As soon as they escorted him out, they handed him to Interahamwe militia. The mayor of Rusizi district, Sindayiheba Fanuel, requested the Catholic Diocese of Cyangugu to compile a list of all religious clergy born in the diocese who were serving in other dioceses and were killed during the genocide, so that commemorating them may become easier for both their families and diocese of Cyangugu.
Your Lordship, Bishop, we kindly request the Cyangugu Diocese that all priests who were born in Cyangugu Diocese can be also added to the list of priests that we will always commemorate, because it will be easy for us.
Based on testimonies given, Bishop Edward Sinayobye said that church has responsibility to continue teaching love among its faithful, because the genocide was fueled by ideologies that opposed the love among people and promoted hatred.
For us, particularly as church, we intend to convince people's ears as ordinary Rwandans, but also we convince ears of those who have known God. The first commandment God gave us is the commandment of love. We should love each other.
The priests being remembered include Father Boneza Joseph, who is buried in Priest's Cemetery, together with the Joseph Nyandwi, who was killed alongside him at Kuchapa. Others commemorated include brothers such as Sinigenga, Ladislas, and Musonera, who were killed at Nyamaseke Parish, as well as other seminarians and catechists killed during genocide. The young clergy in Catholic Church are encouraged to learn from the history that happened to Rwanda in past, so that they may breed bright future, and of course make sure that what happened in Rwanda will never happen again.
His Lordship Bishop Edward Sinayobye said that at one point, dangerous ideologies were preached from places that were supposed to be sources of light, truth, and moral values. He stressed that the Catholic Church, alongside other religious denominations, has a duty to teach love and actively fight against hatred, reflecting on the behavior of some Christians during the genocide against the Tutsi, including individuals within church leadership who were expected to serve as role models. Tasian Gatete, a former secretary of Cyangugu Cathedral Parish and survivor of the genocide, called on Christians to become exemplary in their conduct. He also urged the church to work closely with the government in strengthening unity and reconciliation efforts. In the past time, we had a teacher who used to tell us that a good teacher serves as a good example. For the priest and fellow Christians, as we all gather here, we must replace hatred with love and compassion, and we must replace jealousy with love, especially younger clergy. You must know some of your peers did bad things in the past, but now you must not act the same. Paul Ndizigwe, a relative of one of the priests killed during the genocide, said that church still has an important responsibility to promote love and brotherhood, values that were central to the missionaries who first brought Christianity to Rwanda. He added that just as the church teaches forgiveness, it should also continue encouraging people to ask for forgiveness for the crimes they committed. As we all know, the Catholic Church brought civilization in our country. So that's why the Catholic Church must take the first step to teach well Christians to avoid the ideology of genocide. The Catholic Church must teach Christians to forgive each other, but it must also remind those who participated in genocide to ask for forgiveness. In his address, Bishop Edward Sinayobye reiterated that divisionism teachings once emerged from institutions that should have upheld positive values and guided society toward unity. He emphasized that religious leaders and consecrated men and women have a responsibility to preach love, strengthen unity, and eradicate hatred. The most important responsibility we have as a church is to educate everywhere we go. God gave us a mission to preach His gospel, not only the Catholic Church, but also other churches. We all have the same responsibility of educating and teaching Christians to differentiate the evil from the good and try our best to teach them the consequences of evil. Following the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi, the Catholic Church played a significant role in supporting survivors through humanitarian assistance and social programs, including initiatives led by Caritas and Sans Abri.
Youth in Rusizi district and other areas across the country are urged to avoid drug abuse in order to avoid school dropout and other consequences related to drug abuse. News in detail.
Drug abuse continues to be highlighted as a worrying issue because of its harmful effects on young people, including school dropout, bad behavior, and crimes linked to alcoholism and drug use. Keza Zawadi Hosebia, a senior 3 student in Nyakabuye sector, speaks about the problems caused by drug abuse. She also encourages fellow students to avoid drugs in order to protect their health and future, while recalling on teachers and parents to provide proper guidance and education. Especially for us students, drug abuse may lead us to school dropouts. Sometimes, drugs may influence us to have some bad behaviors. I would like to encourage my fellow students to avoid drugs. Niyonsaba Aimable, one of the teachers at Winyereri School Group, says that lessons about dangers of drugs are included in what they teach, and that they constantly encourage students to stay away from drugs because they destroy lives and health. As its name explains, whoever takes the drugs loses his or her mind. Whenever a person takes drugs, he doesn't really know what to do, and he doesn't do what he's supposed to do.
Especially on children, the drug may affect them and sometimes influence them to do bad things. Executive Secretary of Nyakabuye Sector, Kamali Kimonyo, says that although the issue of drug abuse exists on small scale, parents and teachers should continue educating children about the dangers of drugs so that they can rise responsible and capable citizens.
Kugeza ubu ngubu ikibazo cy'ibiyobyabwenge mu rubyiruko mu mashuri ntabwo twavuga kwijana kidahari.
So far, drug abuse for youth in schools appear, but not at the highest level. But we would like to give the message to the parents to teach the children, to train children, and explain the consequences of drug abuse.
Umwana wawe umurinde, umutoze, umwigisha ububi bw'ibiyobyabwenge.
Leaders say that cooperation between different institutions and the youth themselves is the best way to eliminate drug abuse in schools and in Rwandan society in general. They emphasize that fighting drug abuse is everyone's responsibility, especially in protecting the future generation.
Students and teachers shared their joy during the closing of Catholic Education Week in RW'IGITANGAZAMAKURU district and other areas across the country. News in detail.
The day was marked by joy and began with the Holy Mass celebrated at Nyakabuye Parish, followed by entertainment activities performed by students as part of concluding the Catholic Education Week in the parish. Some students who spoke with PACIS TV expressed their happiness and shared the lessons they gained from the week to help them to improve their behavior and performance. In our parish, we are very happy because Catholic Church in Rwanda always cares about us and all over the world. By organizing big events like this one, we become very happy and we meet our friends and families. So we have to help poor. This week left us with values, respect parents and teachers, working hard and perform well in our studies. On this day, parents also joined the students in celebrating. They highlighted their responsibility in raising capable and disciplined children, emphasizing that they should not leave the entire burden of education and discipline to teachers alone, as explained by one of the representatives of parents with children studying at Bunyereri School Complex. About the discipline of a child, it is not only teachers' responsibility. Discipline begins from home. A parent must train well a child with discipline and a teacher as well. Teachers from different levels also noted that Catholic Education Week is an important opportunity to reflect again on their mission of educating children so they may grow in a way that is pleasing to God and people. Niyonsaba Aimable explained the importance of proper upbringing in helping children become responsible individuals. As teachers, it is opportunity to think about our children's discipline. Science must go hand in hand with the religion. Kids must grow up very well trained with values and humanity. In this week, we focused on that. The parish priest of Nyakabuye Parish, Father Damas Nsengimana, referring to the theme of Education Week, said that educating children is a shared responsibility and that cooperation helps this mission succeed even more effectively. Our message to the parents, teachers and students is the message of Catholic Church in order to raise a well-disciplined child. This year's theme was Raise Me Well, I Grow Well, and I Act Well.
maze nkore neza.
As the Catholic Education Week concluded at Nyakabuye Parish, it was emphasized that proper child upbringing cannot depend on one side alone, but requires collaboration between parents, teachers, and church so that children may grow with values that help them become responsible and useful members of society. All Catholic schools within Nyakabuye Parish participated in the event.
From Cyangugu to Kabgayi, married couples are urged to avoid any kind of conflict and take the Holy Family of St. Joseph as their role models in order to fight against any kind of conflict that may take place in their families. News in detail.
Members of Legion of Maria in Kabgayi Cathedral Parish are calling on married couples to take the Holy Family of Nazareth as their model. They encourage parents to rely on the Virgin Mary in their family life and avoid the conflicts that often destroy families and negatively affect their children. Members of the Legion of Mary in Kabgayi Cathedral Parish made these remarks after renewing their promises during a Holy Mass celebration. During the Mass, they were reminded once again that the army of the Virgin Mary always carries the light that shines for others. As a married people, we must take an example from Nazareth's home. A home consists of wife, man, and children. Nowadays, we encourage people to behave like Mary behaved. Conflicts often come to the families who don't pray. Sometimes there are some homes that you go there and they eat without prayer. That's exactly where conflicts begin. Parish priest of Kabgayi Cathedral Parish, Father Celestin Akuziaremye, urged the Legion members to remember that being soldiers of the Virgin Mary means having courage to defend truth and remain steadfast in righteousness, while striving to be role models for others. Prayers normally open gates of impossible things, the things that are normally very hard, especially rosary. So the prayer strengthens our faith and gives victory against the evil. Prayer has extra power on both Legion members and also Christians. The parish priest of Kabgayi Cathedral Parish also reminded the Legion members to continue caring for and guiding the youth, protecting them from temptations that could lead them into sin. He encouraged them to inspire young people to draw closer to the Virgin Mary and participate in various Catholic action groups.
During the celebration of Museum International Day all over the world, citizens from different areas across the country expressed their joy while playing Igisoro game, and Dr. Hannah Shaw, the leader of Jimerage of Germany in Rwanda, expressed gratitude to Rwandan society and encouraged young people to maintain the culture so that the culture will never go away.
We supported the Igisoro project because we think it's a very good project to introduce and reintroduce cultural heritage such as the Igisoro game to Rwandan students in our partner schools in Rwanda, and as hopefully the next step also introduce Igisoro, which is a big and important part of Rwandan culture in our partner schools also in Rhineland-Palatinate. I think the partnership between Rhineland-Palatinate and Rwanda has existed for over 40 years because it is based on exchange of people, that people exchange with each other. They exchange about their culture, about their lives, and Igisoro is part of Rwandan culture, and that's why it is important that Rwanda shares Igisoro also with their partners and their friends in Rhineland-Palatinate, and also it's equally important that the people in Rhineland-Palatinate also learn about this part of Rwandan culture and learn how to play Igisoro, because hopefully in the future then we can have partner school visits where students from Rhineland-Palatinate and students from Rwanda can play Igisoro with each other.
Well, that was Dr. Hannah Shul, the leader of Jimerage in Rwanda. And after a short commercial break, we are coming back with the international news.
bose bashaka ni College Fondation Sinagera.
Mama we.
Iri ni ishuri ribumbatiye icyerekezo cy'u Rwanda twifuza kuko ritanga uburezi buhamye mu mashuri y'inshuke, abanza, icyiciro rusange ndetse n'amashami y'imyuga n'ubumenyingiro mu buhinzi, ubworozi, food processing, ubwubatsi, ubuganishi bw'ibinyabiziga, fashion design, gutunganya imisatsi, ububaji n'ubusuderi. Hari n'amasomo y'igihe gito short courses mu mashami yavuzwe haruguru aherekezwa na practice zihagije kuko abanyeshuri bigira mu nganda za Sinagera. Sinagera International Football Academy yigisha abana guhera ku myaka 6 gucunga ruhago sawa sawa, atletism, imbyino nyarwanda no kwiga amategeko y'umuhanda no gutwara ibinyabiziga nabyo biri mu nyongera y'amasomo. Abana biga amashuri y'incuke n'abanza basoza ibyo byiciro bose bazi gutwara igare. Umwana wa segonderi we atahana uruhusa rwo gutwara ibinyabiziga. Witinda kwandikisha umwana ku ishuri kuri Nyirangarama cyangwa ku mashami ya Sinagera Entreprise Urwibutso hose mu gihugu. Ku bindi bisobanuro hamagara 0788555123 cyangwa 0788355999. Twubaka ubukungu bushingiye ku bumenyi.
Icy'ingenzi ntabwo ari ukugira diplome ya kaminuza. Uyu munsi birahagije kuganira n'umuntu byonyine ukamenya ko yize muri kaminuza ibonetse yose cyangwa se ko yize muri kaminuza Gatolika y'u Rwanda, Catholic University of Rwanda, by'umwihariko mu ishami ryayo rya Kigali. Ubu abazi guhitamo neza batangiye kwiyandikisha muri Catholic University of Rwanda Kigali campus ikorera Nyamirambo. Abashaka kwiga mu mashami y'uburezi kwiyandikisha mu gihembwe kizatangira mu kwezi kwa 3 March intake byaratangiye muri postgraduate diploma in education PGDE. Ababiga muri weekend. Hatangwa kandi amasomo muri Department of Education in Sciences mu mashami ya Economics and Computer Science, Mathematics and Computer Science, Mathematics and Geography na Mathematics and Economics. Hari kandi Department of Education in Arts and Social Sciences mu mashami ya English and Kinyarwanda, English and French, French and Kinyarwanda, English and Kiswahili, Economics and Entrepreneurship, English and History, Economics and History na Economics and Geography. Uhitamo kwiga ku manywa cyangwa se mu biruhuko. Twakira kandi abanyeshuri bafite A1 muri education bakeneye gukomeza amasomo yabo ku rwego rwa A0. Iyandikisha unyuze kuri wa#CUR.AC.RW. Wanahamagara cyangwa ukandika ubutumwa kuri 07 83 18 86 26 cyangwa 07 33 21 46 78 cyangwa none 07 88 52 41 98. Wanandika email kuri curkigalcampus@gmail.com.
The only way to being found is getting lost.
Nyuma rero ugiye kutubwira impamvu zatumye hitamo kuza gusaba akazi hano.
Bwa mbere nza gusaba akazi hano nari nabitekerejeho mbabarire murakoze mu by'ukuri numvaga mfite ubushobozi ndetse n'ubushake.
So kutiteguye bihagije ni ukutaryama neza. Rwanda Farm, le paradis du matelas.
Muri Gicurasi kuri Canal Plus wicikwa n'imikino y'indyankuriye aho umwami wa Premier League azambikwa ikamba, FA Cup igahamya ubukaka bwayo, uwegukana Ligue 1 ahangwa imboni, Bundesliga yo ikimaka. Muri Liga mwaba muzi uzitwa igihangange cya Espagne. Naho ku ya 30 Gicurasi umunyabigozi andika amateka mu mukino wa nyuma wa UEFA Champions League. Kuko ugomba kubaho ibyiza bihora kugeza ku ya 31 Gicurasi. Gura bone musanzwe ugura wongereho ibihumbi 2 uhabwa amashani yose ya Canal Plus na DSTV English Plus. Gurira ku mucurizi wemewe no kuri Mobile Money.
Bakerarugendo namwe bashyitsi mugenda mu karere ka Muhanga no mu tundi turere two mu ntara y'Amajyepfo n'intara y'Iburengerazuba, namwe mwese mukeneye serivisi za hotel, ni muze nimugira mu mujyi wa Muhanga mukomeze gato. Nimugera i Kabgayi murahasanga hoteli yiteguye kubakirana urugwiro. iyo nta yindi ni hoteli Saint-Andre Kabgayi. Hoteli Saint-Andre Kabgayi tugufitiye serivisi zitandukanye za bar na restaurant kandi zitanga mu buhanga n'icyubahiro ku mukiriya utugana. Tubafitiye kandi imikino itandukanye ifasha abatugana kuruhuka nka piscine wogeramo ukaruhuka mu mutwe, imyicungo igezweho abana bidagaduriramo bagataha banezerewe, tennis na table game bakunze kwita biyari, igisoro ndetse na volley yo ku mucanga bakunze kwita beach volley mukunda muri benshi nayo ntitwayibagiwe. Ikindi nuko muri hoteli Saint-Andre Kabgayi twakira inama zitandukanye kuko tubafitiye ibyumba byiza by'inama utasanga ahandi, byaba bito ndetse n'ibishobora kwakira abantu benshi, ariko by'akarusho tukaba tubafasha no gukora inama mukoresheje ikoranabuhanga mu gihe mutari kumwe mu cyumba. Kubifuza serivisi za catering hoteli Saint-Andre Kabgayi, amafunguro n'ibinyobwa tubibagerezaho ku gihe. Tubafitiye ibyumba byiza byagutse biri mu byiciro bitandukanye, harimo n'ibyo bakunze kwita suite mu ndimi z'amahanga, ndetse byose ukaba ubibona ku giciro cyiza. Muri make ugeze muri hoteli Saint-Andre Kabgayi ahora yifuza kugaruka kubera uburyo yakiranywe ubwuzu n'icyubahiro bitasanga ahandi, kuko serivisi tuzitanga kinyamwuga kandi zishingiye ku ndangagaciro za Kiliziya. Ku bindi bisobanuro waduhamagara kuri telefone ziri kuri ekara yawe cyangwa ukatwandikira unyuze ku mbuga nkoranyambaga zacu zitandukanye. Hoteli Saint-Andre Kabgayi, imfura mu mahoteli mu gutanga serivisi nziza inoze kandi ku gihe.
Welcome to our international news. Ebola strain has torn through local communities in the eastern of the Democratic Republic of Congo. According to World Health Organization WHO, the Ebola disease is taking over different parts of the Democratic Republic of Congo, claiming more than 150 lives so far. The WHO encouraged the citizens of the Democratic Republic of Congo and the citizens of different countries across the world to have hygiene and make sure that they fight against the Ebola strain that is taking over different areas across Africa. Ebola first discovered in Democratic Republic of Congo in 1976, and until now it is still taking place in different areas in Africa and in the world. World Health Organization WHO encouraged the world citizens and residents of different areas across Africa and different parts of the world to fight against Ebola by practicing hygiene and making sure that they avoid any kind of dirtiness. Thank you very much for being with us today, but before we come to an end, let's go back to our top stories. In Cyangugu, youth are encouraged to learn from the history of Rwanda and make sure that what happened during the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi will never happen again elsewhere in the world. The young generation of clergy in Catholic Church are encouraged to learn from the peers who did bad during the period of 1994 genocide against the Tutsi to make sure that they build bright the future. Youth are encouraged to fight against drug abuse. In international news, in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Ebola strain has torn through local communities. Thank you once again for being with PACIS TV in English Weekly News. I am Benjamin Kwizera and I wish you a very good weekend.
PACIS TV, ta vie renouvelée en Jésus-Christ.
PACIS TV, the #1 Catholic television in Africa.
PACIS TV, ta vie renouvelée en Jésus-Christ.
PACIS